let's take a peek at the TriStar motor. So, took the 4 screws out. I think I'm going to have some good news. Bearing, and I think I can get to it. So here's the carbon brushes right here. I mean, they're not real long anymore, but they got plenty of life left in them for probably anything I want to do. I'm not really seeing any damage. Rear part of the motor here. But these all look like common bearings. And I'm pretty sure I can either get new ones. I don't think I can actually rebuild them because they're completely sealed on both sides, I believe. Let me see if I can get this out. Haha. There we go. And there it is. So, let's see if I can carefully pull this out. Yes, all right. So here is the coil. Still a little dirty. See some stuff in there. All right. And here's what I really want to get a hold of. Oh, I can feel that. When I turn that, I can feel it right here, and it's like it's like little grains of sand or little rocks. And that looks like, as far as I can tell, yeah, it looks like it's sealed. So I will have to go and figure out what these little bearings are. Yep, I can feel it on this one too. So both of them need to be replaced. But I've got a bearing puller. I think I can do that. So I wonder, what are these? Try to clean them up a little bit. I don't know if I have some or if I need to order some. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna have to get a magnifying glass and I'll tell you what they are. So it turns out they are 608Zs, and I have plenty of them. Metal on both sides, so we're in good shape. Let's see how awkward I can make this look. So I'm trying to show you what I'm doing at the same time. It's a good sound. See the bearing moving. Maybe I should speed this up. I have to reset. Nope, didn't make it. Thought I could. Close, but not quite. Oh, missed. Geez, I think it would have popped off by now. Alright. One done. Now, the other one. That'll be fun. I want to make sure I don't damage the fan in any way, shape, or form. I can squeeze that in there. Ooh, that might be difficult. I might have to play with this a little bit off camera. Oh, no, never mind. Yep, I think we just cleared it. Oh, maybe. Just barely. No, maybe not. All right, I'm gonna play with this a little bit off camera, make sure I don't damage the fan. All right, I think I got it. So without damaging the fan, I think I can pop this one off. Excellent. Okay, both bearings are now off. So now I need to go and put 2 new ones on. Okay, so I'm less than thrilled with this setup, but well, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So let's see how well this works. Yeah, all right, good enough. So I've got 2 new bearings for this motor, but it's almost like when you install them, you have to do like a double blind kind of installation. What I mean is there's no type of notch or change in diameter or marking in any way, shape, or form of where this axle is supposed to go or align properly, or the bearing is supposed to stop on some type of detent, because this literally can just slide all over the place. So, and by the way, these aren't the bearings I'm actually putting on here. They're just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to have to tap the other bearings on, the 608ZZ bearings on. So I've got to figure out a way that the whole commutator fan assembly sits properly in the shell. If I push it too far this way, see this little notch right here? Then the fan can't spin. If I have it too far this way, then you get a rubbing right here against plastic housing, and that's not what you want. So there actually is a fairly easy way to somewhat figure this out. And what you can do is you take a look at where the carbon brushes actually ride. And there's a little guidepost here for the middle of the carbon brush on the underside of the carbon brush right there. If you can see that, it's got a little notch where it rides in there. And you can see that there's an edge wear line, a little black line right here, and then of course here's the edge of the plastic. Turns out if you line those two up, or you could say put this little guide for the carbon brush right in the middle of the wear line, that you have something that spins freely. Well, of course I'm being a little sloppy here moving around, but that's really what you need to do. So you don't want it to rub right here, and you definitely don't want it to rub back here where the fan blades would actually hit. So that's what's going to be rather entertaining with putting these 2 bearings back on. Now we have the front and rear bearings installed. That was a real treat. And let's take a brief look at what they replaced. So here's the original ones, and as you can see, nice and dry. Whatever grease was left had obviously changed color and just wasn't doing a very good job anymore. So the bearings kind of sound like gritty sand when you would spin them. So let's see what we can do here about getting this motor back together. listen to that. Or rather, listen to nothing. Beautiful. Nice and smooth. Time for some carbon brushes. See if I can do this without them shooting off into space. They got this little notch right there. Helps keep them aligned. And yep, looks like we have a pretty good alignment so far. And we'll do a test run before we put it back into the power nozzle. Be very interested to hear what this sounds like, because you heard what it sounded like before, and that was not a healthy sound at all. All right, let's do a test run. I want to make sure I got power to the CXL. All right, we do. Now let's see what the motor does. Contact. Oh, that's nice. Ah, sounds like a motor should sound.